So it was, it was really drawn from the experience of watching 9/11 happen from San Francisco. And I was thinking, well, I'll just write my impressions of what I'm seeing go on. And it was really about the sacrifice and heroism of the people there just trying to save each other. Very hard when you think about that, how do you put that into words, you know? And I tempered that with my experience of trying not to be too descriptive with instrumental titles, because you might ruin it for someone who wants to use the song for a great memory or romance or something like that. And if your title is something horrible, you've kind of spoiled it for them. So I thought, well, I know I can come up with 10 words, from these 3 pieces of paper that I put all my impressions on, but I couldn't. And I kept focusing on the last phrase, which was 10 notes. And so I thought, well, this is, all my versions of it were terrible. They were either clunky or they were too descriptive. And so I thought, maybe I can just call it 10 words, and that way, once the fans hear it, they can put their own words to it. It becomes a more powerful tool in the hands of the listener. But I know what it's about. And it shines a light on something that I learned many years ago, which is that the experience that I have as a writer is extremely important to me, but I don't necessarily need validation from the audience for it or from critics or anything. And once you free yourself from that, then you can really get super cathartic and put anything you want into a song, because it's not about saying, look what I did. It's really just about that you're alive and you were able to do it. I feel grateful that I can turn feelings into music. And so that's why some of these songs I never even release, because that's not what it's really about. But that one, I really did think people would like that and they'd be able to make it their own. So.
Well, I didn't come up with any 10 words, but I love the song. It's still my favorite.
Oh, thank you. Just on a musical note, that was really hard to record, because there's 2 verses, which is really hard in instrumental music to have 2 back-to-back verses. And with a song like Summer Song, which has the same thing, 2 verses back-to-back, the main melody is a bit higher up, so you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
You just have to deal with the fact that the second verse is really high up, so you have to be careful with the guitar sound. But on 10 words, that first verse is really low, really like a baritone. So I had to really think about baritone singers and how they would phrase that. Very, very difficult to do. I didn't know if I could pull it off until we finally mixed it. And Mike Fraser did such a beautiful job, and Jeff played great on that. Just made it really beautiful sounding.
I saw a YouTube video not too long ago with you and Sammy.
Yeah.
You were hanging out. I don't know what the show's called, but you talked about how he comes up with lyrics.
Yeah.
He should come up with lyrics for 10 words.
Yeah. You know what he would say to me? He'd say, Joe, 10, no, 4. Because he's smart, right?
Yes,
thinks
he
like
is.
a singer, like, I'm not going to remember 10 words. It's like, so much easier if I can chop it down, at least in half, So that's his genius,